Hey, what's going on? This is Via Talk, Conversations Without Limits. And instead of coffee today, we're going to be serving espresso martinis using the coffee. So real quick, where is it? First of all, if you're gonna make espresso martinis with my coffee, you want to use either Mayan Jaguar, Mayan Jaguar, or Mayan Warrior. That's one. So that's what we did. We brewed that. Okay. I usually have somebody who's a mixologist for me, so this is a new thing for me, and none of us all really know, so you guys are all about to get it. So I looked up a recipe. We're going to have vanilla vodka. So, and since we're all
okay. I'm excited for this.
Oh, my God.
And then that's Kahlua. Right?
Yeah.
Now, roughly, how much are we putting in?
Honey, I don't know. It's enough for all four of us. I didn't even measure this.
Just winging it?
I'm just winging it. Now, listen. Splash of sugar.
Okay. I like that you're using brown. What is it?
Yeah.
Raw.
Sugar in the raw.
That's right.
Okay. And then we're going to add the coffee. Make sure it's iced.
Mm-hmm. Looks good so far.
Okay, so we're gonna make his first because he can't have almond milk. So I feel like we need to add a little bit more of this. What do you think?
Let's go for it. Listen, I'm excited. I see how much you're pouring. I'm excited. On a Monday, let's do it.
All right, I guess you said shake it up.
You shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. All right, it's a little color formation there.
Okay. You're commentating.
Looks good.
I've had practice like this.
Oh, yeah, you have that I can't.
All right. We're going to do Justin's first because I definitely am going to add the leche. All right.
Be honest, Justin, how you like it?
All right.
Yeah. I have a feeling
it looks good.
It looks delicious.
All right, you gotta tell us.
All right.
I can smell it. I can smell the coffee in it.
Yeah, I'll wait for you guys.
All right, give me the almond milk.
The almond milk?
Yeah. But Justin, try it first.
Right,
I need you to try it first.
Maybe she should tweak the recipe for the next three.
Right.
That's very good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you
good.
really?
Yes, that's good. That's good.
Don't hire me to be a mixologist, by the way. Oh shit! How do we open this?
Twist it, I think. Or your muscles just jam
My
it on
hands
there.
are wet.
Okay, want to try?
Yeah, try.
All that muscle. Mamacita, you got all that muscle.
You jam this, girlfriend.
Oh, is it because the ice it's making it
maybe
jam?
it did a suction
like a
thing.
suction thing?
Yeah.
No,
I have no
can't.
strength, ladies. I'm not even gonna try with my nails.
I might have loosened it for you, maybe.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, let me do it so that way if it's splattered.
You do have a man
You
here.
guys
Yeah.
got nice outfits on here. Don't want coffee splatting all over you
Do a
guys.
quick video.
But not near your electronics.
Let's see.
Hola.
Get it either. It actually is wet.
Here,
hi.
take this.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Here filming with the ladies.
We're making an espresso martini and it's kind of failing, but we're trying.
It's coming together.
It tastes delicious.
Stay tuned, guys.
What do you think it is? It's because of the
post that on
coldness?
recipe.
The glass expands in the cold.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gotta
So
be.
just pour a little almond milk in the bottom of each
Yeah.
cup and then
Okay,
just pour it out.
all
And then
right,
the
all right.
glass will like shrink
All
back
right.
up.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because you're like ice, water expands. Like
yeah.
Look at the
There's some
chemistry.
science going
Yeah,
on.
look at that.
Pretty.
All right, give me everybody's glass. All right, so we're going to also use almond milk because one of our people here is allergic to almond milk and nuts. We didn't do it for him, but we'll do it for us. All right, so now
Okay, I'm gonna take these and just.
here's the recipe. Okay, where's the little thing? Gotta shake it up again.
You're really good at that
Shake it,
shaking.
shake it, shake it, shake it.
I'm tired. Everybody, stop it.
Okay, fine.
Ooh, looks pretty.
No.
It's a beautiful color.
Woo! All right. right, honey.
The Via Espresso Martini. Cheers.
Here's the recipe. So if you guys are interested. Oh, and then a little bit. Okay, yeah, salute. Cheers.
Cheers. Salud, ladies.
Welcome
Blessings.
to episode 3.
Mhm.
By the way, thank you for coming, Christine.
Thank
from work.
you.
For having me, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
lovely meeting
Oh,
you.
I
It's a
hope it tastes
privilege.
good with my mouth.
With your Ricola.
It's nice.
It's good,
Yeah,
right?
good. You did
It's
a
really
really
good,
good
guys.
job.
Very smooth.
You don't need a mixologist. You are the mixologist.
Just make sure you pour it all in, honey.
Yeah, don't measure.
Yeah.
Just-
All right, so we should take these out. What do you think? Yeah, let's put it on the bottom.
Yeah.
But you want to leave your coffee pot out?
Yeah, we'll just leave the coffee
Kahlua
pot
not
out.
in this
sponsoring
something.
us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
Just leave this and this because they look pretty.
feel free to hit us up, Kahlua, if you want to sponsor us.
There we go. There we go.
All right, put that here. All right, awesome. All right, so once again, guys, this is how you made the espresso martini. It was my first time making it, so if you're at home and you're feeling like, oh my God, I can't do it, yes, you can, because I just did it, and I'm not even a big drinker. So today's guest is, I'm so excited. Her name is Christine. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course, and welcome to Via Talk, Conversation Without Limits. So basically, I wanted to have her on here because we're going to speak about a few subject matters. She is a mother, and she's a single mother. And she is also a white mother to a black son, which I think is a big conversation we need to have. We'll talk about that in depth. And also being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, and just being single in relationships, trying to date and have a child. You know, honey, it's a lot. So I talked to you briefly. I gave you a little, what we were going to talk about. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, obviously, when... Do you live in a very suburban? Is there a lot of minorities where you live, or no?
None.
So your son is it?
There's probably maybe 3 or 4. I mean, in our whole town.
Okay.
I think Massachusetts is. I mean, you can probably attest that coming from
Yeah.
California. It's a really segregated state. Like, there's not much mixing.
It depends on what
certain
area.
Well, yeah,
communities.
but like the South Shore where we live,
Yeah.
is like very,
Mhm.
very, very, very white, very
Okay.
Irish.
So what do you do? So first of all, how did your family embrace this situation? Were they or did you grow up where they we don't really see color and it's whatever, or were they like, oh my God?
I mean, I guess it's a real privilege for someone white to say they don't see color because I never grew
Thank
up
you.
having to see color, right? So, like, my parents are hippies. They're, we lived on a commune part of my life. They're like extremely open-minded
That's nice.
people, but so it's a privilege having to say, like, I never had to think about race. I never had to think about color.
So it didn't matter to them that you were pregnant by
It did to my dad in the sense that, like, when I told my dad that I was, when I told my dad that Wally and I were like, when we were dating his father, he asked, are you guys serious? Would you ever think about having children with him? And his only concern was, if you have a child with him, it's just going to be harder. That's what he said. It'll be harder for that child.
No, I bet that probably
He
didn't
was being
even.
honest.
I bet that didn't even probably really resonate with you until then. Boom. Let's fast forward. The whole George Floyd thing happened, right? So now it's like for me now. So to have full clarity on my end, I'm obviously Mayan Indian, but my daughter's her father's from Liberia. So I kind of. Obviously, if it comes to, crossing the stand on the line, I'm going to be pro-black just because my daughter is
sure.
Whatever. So that was like a call to every woman in the world. Like, it didn't matter what color
every
you were.
mother, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
But
was
especially if you have a child of color, like, I feel like any color.
So what are the things that I know that his father is in the picture, right? Okay, so that's great. He has like a strong black male influence. But I wanted to talk to you because she is also, by the way, you were an aesthetic, you are a nurse.
Nurse practitioner, yeah.
Okay, and then tell us a little bit about your business before I ask the question.
Okay, so I have New England Skin Center, so we do aesthetic and like functional integrative medicine. So just like you do, we do all things to help men and women like love the bodies that they're in.
Nice.
And skin.
Yeah, so skin.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Okay.
Anything from the inside out. So whether it's, skincare, fillers, Botox, body treatments, and then also, bioidentical hormone replacements, supplements, medical grade weight loss, just anything to help you feel empowered and love the home you live in, because this is the most important home you're ever going to have.
Period. Yeah. This is my home.
And I really feel like for men, but obviously especially women, because I'm a woman and both of our clients are women, that we're often taught to feel like ashamed of our bodies and make them less than what they are. So I really want women to love their bodies in all its like feminine glory and curves and sexiness.
Exactly.
And just own it, because it is such a source of power.
It really is. Yeah.
Your body's your temple.
Okay, so I'm glad we're going to get back to that. So keep that in mind. We're going to get back to that divine, feminine, just sexual energy women have. So in saying that, knowing that you study skin and you study biology, now this is a big thing, and a lot of people don't talk about it, but especially white parents, if you adopt a child of color or if you have a mixed child, it is so important that you know two things, major things: how to take care of their hair.
Oh, yes, his hair.
And how to take care of their skin. And it's something that's not talked about, just because my adopted mother, who's white, when Chanel came, I was like, Mom, she's like, I don't know what to do with her hair, and me too. I have very straight Mayan Indian hair, but I made sure I took my daughter to the Dominican salons, I made sure she got her hair braided, and I had to figure out, she needs oil, things like that. And obviously, I'm a woman of color, so I know how to take care of the skin. But so what are the things that like you talk to your son about, and then like about taking care of his hair and his skin? Is that something you had to research? Did you want to research, or were you like, oh, I'm having a a son of color, like how do I make sure I prepare him? Because I also feel and let me ask you this, if you feel this, I also felt like because my daughter was half black and she was growing up in a very white town, that she always had to be extra dressed. She always had to be extra polite, because I felt like the little white kids could get away with that, coming to school with pajamas or just coming to school, whatever. But my child, being a young woman of color, I felt like she always had to be on point. And I do kind of feel like with Jackson as well, like being a young black man, like he always has to represent like to another level, opposed to like he can't.
Absolutely, and that's of course. I mean, I think he has to. I mean, I don't necessarily know if he feels that yet, but I know that of course people will judge him differently because he's black, and regardless if he's like mixed race or whatever, like to the whole outside world, he's black, and he really identifies as being black. Like
that's good.
He really does. Like his room is full of like every football, basketball, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Barry Sanders, like every, like, it's just, he very identifies as being like a black man or young boy in the world. So I know that people will judge him.
So what do you put on him? What kind of products did you buy for his hair, and what about his skin? Have you taught him about, obviously since you're in the whole field of taking care of the mind, body, soul, and the skin, what is different for say his skin tone, his skin and your skin?
As opposed to mine?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, his skin is like his hair and skin is much drier than mine. So like ever since he was a little baby, I used pure coconut oil on him, like from Trader Joe's, like the hard, and
that's what I use.
Lather his whole body, his whole hair in coconut oil, and it just like he soaks it. I mean, if I put my body in coconut oil, I'd be like acne like everywhere.
Right.
But his, like, ever since he was little, just head to toe coconut oil. And I really, he knows that he has to like moisturize head to toe every single day.
Right.
That's really important for him. I mean, his hair, he knows that, like, because he loves his curls. He's really proud of it, and he's got like big hair. Like he has like probably an extra like 4 inches with his hair.
Fro. He loves his fro.
He loves his fro, and his curls are just like beautiful. But he knows it's like every morning we have to do his hair. Before bed we do his hair, and like brush it out, massaging the oil, massaging the curl
Now, is that
cream.
something that you felt like you needed to read on? Or is that something where you like, oh my, like, did you, But do you
I
feel
definitely
like
had to explore products. Like I definitely
Yeah.
was like, you know, at the beauty supply store being like, oh, that's for mixed race. Oh, that's for like curly hair. Oh, that's ethnic. Like I would just like, I went to the beauty because I've got the cosmetology license.
Yeah.
I just went to the beauty supply store and just was looking like just trial and
Trial
error, like
and
whatever,
error.
like
Yeah.
mixed race, person of color, hair products, shampoos, gels, curls, makers they had.
Well,
I just
I
would like
salute
buy them
you.
all and then just figure out like what worked for him.
I salute you honestly because that's one of the main reasons I wanted to have you on here because I'm not gonna lie, it really disturbs. It makes my skin cringe when I see white mothers with their like mixed children and their hair be so raggedy or their and I'm just like, honey, did you not do research on who you're laying
and
up
it's
with?
okay to ask for help.
Exactly, ask for help because
or
it's,
like have him shave his head. Like he doesn't want to have like a buzz cut. He wants his curls. Like he's proud.
right.
He's proud of his hair. Like he's proud of how he looks. And I think just like we all want to feel proud of how we look. I think it's so important.
But I feel like
that sense of
I feel like
pride.
sometimes some of interracial relationships or mothers, especially if they're single mothers and they're stuck with their mixed children, it's almost like resentment. So like they kind of like don't treat their children like as nice, like it's like they'll take more care of themselves than they will of their own children. It's kind of sad to see. You know what I'm saying?
Horrible parenting.
I
It's
know,
selfish.
but I see it a lot. Especially, I'm from Lynn, honey. I see a lot of white mothers with mixed children, and I'm like, what happened here? Did you not like, you know?
So I mean, yes, he's gorgeous and his skin
How
is
old is
beautiful.
your son, by the way?
He'll be 11 in December, but so like I get spray tans, you know, like
Yeah.
I literally get a spray tan like every single week. And, you know, I remember when he was little, he was like, Mommy, he's like, I don't understand. He's like, why do you get spray tans? Why do you want your skin to look like me and Daddy's? He's like, I like you and your peach. And I was like, because you and Daddy have beautiful skin. I have to pay to get my skin like,
to naturally
sprayed to look like
Let me
yours.
ask you this. Growing up, he's going to be obviously a teenie. He's going to drive and he's going to be a young man. Are you scared of how the police will treat him?
Are you going to have that conversation with him?
Yeah, it's called the conversation.
Sure,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure like his father, I feel like that's something we would probably have as like a family. I mean, we obviously had to touch on it like a little bit during like when you said COVID and with Black Lives Matter. And that was like confusing for him a bit because, you know, like it was like one day we were just like driving around, like all of a sudden there was like all these signs everywhere that said Black Lives Matter. And he was like, Mommy, he's like, what are all those signs mean?
Wow, that's kind of deep.
You know, he was like, what are all those signs mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it just means that like Black lives, you know, matter, you know, it's really important. And he said, well, do they only matter now because it's COVID? And then I was like, oh crap, I don't even know how to answer that. And then, you know, fast forward a couple months, everyone took their signs down, right? So we're like driving through the neighborhood and he's like, oh Mom, there aren't any signs up anymore. He's like, so the Black lives not matter anymore?
That's real.
He's a smart kid.
That's real though, kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, yeah, that's real. Okay. So back to women's divine feminine energy. So like, I know even for me, just being like, you know, in a sense, quote, a hot mom, like how do you deal being so beautiful, right? And I know your son going to soccer games or going
Being
to
a
watch
hot
a football.
mom.
Yeah, going to football games, right? How do you think he deals with that? And how do you deal with that?
I mean,
Do you simmer down
I
your
simmer
sexiness?
down for sure. I mean, he's very like he's I'm not cool right now. Like I'm very not. I'm like
Yeah,
he's in that stage.
I'm never cool to my
not
daughter,
cool.
and I'm
almost
like,
a
But
teenager.
he's very much like, are you gonna wear that? Your boobs are showing, like things. So I'm very careful about like what I wear
around 10,
him.
of course.
You know, and I keep like my dating life or, you know,
Well, that was
things
a
I
conversation
do,
we want to talk about
you
next.
know, very separate from.
But how do you feel though? Like I just feel like.
But I also think, sorry to interrupt,
No.
but like, I think, again, we're talking about like simmering down in the sense that like, again, it's like, if you're a woman and you are centered in your own sexuality and you are centered in your own sensuality and you are empowered by it, which is what we should all be, because it's like the creative force of life. It comes through all the time.
Naturally.
So it's like, I don't want to dim that shit
Yep, you
at
don't
the
wanna
same
dim your
time too, because
This is what I was just gonna say.
so I can put my boobs away
Yeah.
and at a football game, but you still have that
energy.
aura,
that goddess energy.
goddess
Yeah,
energy.
absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
and that's available for all men and women too. Like,
yeah, but
like,
not everybody has honed into that
no,
energy.
but
though.
it is available.
Yeah, of
like I
course.
think when
Available.
people hate on you or get jealous for it, it's like there's no secret, sister. Like you too can
Yeah,
be.
you can tap into that
It's
energy
all our
anytime.
birthright.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, you know, I just remember same thing that you said. Chanel was always like, Mom, like da 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 da.
Oh, yeah, if I-
And we just had a conversation. We just went to breakfast and I was so hot and I took off my hoodie and I just had my sports bra on. She's like, you're so embarrassing. I said, you should be so lucky that I can literally be in a restaurant in my sports bra and sweatpants and I still look good. And she's like, stop talking about yourself. I'm just saying, I said, Chanel, honey, when you have a kid and you can still look good and you can be this age, I'm going to need you to show it all off, you know? So it's interesting, though, because it's like, I feel like with mothers, you know, and society, that's why I did the sex paint series, remember?
Yeah, I love that. That's so good.
Because it was like, I constantly always felt as a young mother, especially, and being around a lot of older mothers, where I always felt like I had to dim down my light to make everybody else feel comfortable.
And that's horrible.
And I was just like, no, like if I want to come in and like, you know, if I want to come into the PTA meetings in some boots and a skirt and whatever, you're not going to judge me, honey. I can still cook.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, just because I'm a 20-something-year-old mom or something. So I don't like how society and this whole motherhood thing is like, well, now that you're a mother, we're going to need you to just hide, forget your sexuality, and then that's it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I say about motherhood in the sense that, like, being Jackson's mom is my greatest joy. Like,
Yes.
I love it. But I haven't lost myself in motherhood
That's
in the
good.
sense that, like, I love all the other things about me that make me Christine. I love how I work in the world. I love the woman that I am in the world. I love the friendships that I have created in the world. I love that I'm a divine sexual creature that enjoys sex and love and is in control of it and feels empowered by it and isn't ashamed of it. Like
Amen.
I love all those aspects of me, and I think for my son, I feel like it's important that he sees me like going to work. He sees me going to the gym and exercise. He sees me putting on lipstick and earrings and a short skirt and high heels. And
you are going to be the first woman
dinner.
that he's going to mirror when he dates.
Yeah.
And
So
he's going to
he
see
sees
that.
all that. Like, and I tell him, listen, it just as important that I take you to football and arrange your play dates. It's as equally important that I go to the gym. It's as equally important that I go out and see my girlfriends. Like all the things that I do for you because I love you, I do them for myself because I love myself.
Right.
Yep.
And that's another thing too. Ladies, like I see this a lot and it makes me really sad is don't ever lose yourself. Like your kids are just who you are. Yes, women are meant, like we're here to reproduce. Like that's part of our biology, right? But I hate when women, like I see it on Instagram sometimes, they'll be like, mother of 4, wife and mother and so, but that's not your identity.
No, that's not
like
who
you are your own
can be
person.
autonomous
When
on your
when
own.
your children grow up and leave you, who are you gonna be?
Well, that's the thing. You raise them to leave you, so your identity can't be being a parent or being like Jackson is not responsible for my joy.
No.
He's not responsible for my happiness.
But a lot of mothers
That's what happens to a lot of moms when they're empty
I
nesters.
raised
and
him
lost.
to go out, and I don't want to burden him with that. Like he's not responsible for my identity or happiness in the world. Like
I'm so
that's
happy
a
you're saying
huge-
this, but
that's a horrible
but
burden
you
to
know,
put on
but
him.
you know how many mothers do you know?
Well, they do because they lose their
They
sense of
literally
self.
live for their
Exactly.
children.
And that's it.
And I would always tell Chanel too, growing up, honey, if I'm not good, you're not good. Like if my mental state, my emotional state, if I'm depressed, then guess what? You're gonna be depressed because it's gonna seep into you.
Exactly.
And that's another thing. Like I feel like this society, it's like, oh, you're a mother now, forget it. Your life ended and you have to live for your child. No, you still have to find balance in the things that you love and the things that define you and make you as a woman, like you said, like work and these things. Okay.
Yeah, so you, I mean, but again, that goes back to society wanting to like marginalize women, all women, right? And compartmentalize women and keep women down because what's the most powerful force in the world?
It's a woman.
Fuck yeah.
All day, every day.
That's right.
So the only way this world succeeds the way it is by having women believe this myth that we're not powerful.
Right.
Which we are, very much so.
And to be scared of our own sexuality. I mean, are you kidding?
So speaking of sexuality, this is next. Being a single mom, how do you balance obviously dating life, right? And then like, you know, is obviously, and then we'll get into like have you introduced anybody to your son?
Well, I feel like my home is my sanctuary. Like I love my home. My home with my son is such a special place for me.
Yeah.
And of course I date, obviously, right? But I don't do it when my son's around. Like
But have you introduced anyone to your son?
once, and I will never fucking do it again. It was a terrible mistake. I learned my lesson. We're all better, stronger for it.
Right.
But
is there any advice you would tell women? Because I have a saying, I wrote this on Facebook, people were so mad, but I really do believe, and now from some of my own mistakes, I think that if you're a single mom, you just shouldn't date. Meaning, like, you go have sex, but not even really even date seriously, because you even try to, because then if you date serious, you want to introduce that person to your child, right? Yeah. Then marriage. But what if it doesn't work, and then your child? So my whole thing is raise your kid, focus on your kid, have sex with whoever you want.
Well, that's where, yes.
But there's no actual real dating until I raise my child, you know? And I remember even when Chanel was playing AAU, and, you know, men would always try to date me, whatever. And I'd be like, honey, my child's playing AAU basketball from all summer till fall. I'll see you in December maybe for like a month.
And the man should respect that.
Yeah.
You know, and if he deserves to be in your life, then he'll respect that.
Okay, so how do you feel about dating men with kids?
I feel fine about. I don't want to meet anybody's children. I don't want to. I don't want a
I'm the
husband.
same way.
Honestly, I love being a single mother. I love having my home. It's like my sanctuary. I'm really lucky. It took Jackson's father and I 3 years, but we're in like a really good place
co-parenting
of like co-parenting, and we both know that, you know, we both have this one mission, which is just health and wealth and love of this child, and so we're are really good being friends and co-parenting. But like,
do you have any advice,
Sylvie? Like my priorities are like my business, myself, my girlfriends, my child, and then of course, like, you know,
men on the side.
Yeah, a little fun
men
here
on the
there.
side. So like then
and again, like, fellas, like, we're not here to like try to bash you, but you really have to understand. First of all, women entrepreneurs, and we're going to get into her business and what's a day in the life for you and your business, right? Because, fellas, you really have to understand, like, when you're dating a woman and a powerful woman, and when you're dating a woman who owns businesses or a business and she has a child, like, you are like 5th or 6th on the totem pole. And I feel like some of these men, like, y'all act like little babies, and you're like, it's like, dog, I don't got time for that shit. Yeah. Okay, so tell us, first of all, what's the name of your business? And
New England Skin Center.
Where is it at?
Weymouth.
Okay. And
Massachusetts.
Okay, and how long have you had it?
I think we've had that business. I've been in this industry for like over 20 years, but that business for probably since 2017.
But how did you start off? What was your first thing? Like, give us background on you now. So we talked about your son. We talked about a little bit of relationships. Tell me, okay, what was your journey like? How did you know you were going to be? How did you land? Yeah.
I'll like kind of give it as fast as possible. So obviously I've always loved beauty.
Of course.
I've always been attracted to beautiful things, art. I've loved makeup my whole entire life. Skincare ever since I was like 12. I remember like going to like the Dunreed with my allowance and like buying like anti-aging cream at 12. She's
like, I want to stay 12. This 12-year-old skin has to be forever.
And then I went to my undergrad was in art history and fine arts. So I'm just like
what's your college?
Columbia University.
We're dealing with a smarty.
Nice.
But I always just wanted to like be in skin and be in beauty. So after I graduated from Columbia, I went to Elizabeth Grady School of Aesthetics.
That's where I went. Yeah.
And became an esthetician, and then moved out to California and worked in Hollywood for like almost a decade went to Paramount Studio. They had a special effects makeup movie, like a special effects studio makeup academy there. So I studied there and did like makeup and like TV and films.
Amazing.
And there was actually 2 experiences that happened, which was one, I was doing makeup for a movie, and one of the actresses was a victim of domestic violence, and she had a lot of like bruises like on her face and her body. So we had to do like corrective like makeup on her to cover her bruises so she could, film her scenes.
Yeah.
So it was very hard to like touch her. Like as a makeup artist, it's extremely like intimate. So every time you would come near her, she would almost like flinch because like she was equated like touch with terror and fear.
Yeah.
So it took a while for her to get comfortable with me where like I could touch her and she wouldn't recoil from me, and I could do her makeup to cover her bruises. And then there was also a young Black girl who was in a fire when she was younger, and like half of her face was burnt. So like all the melanin was burnt. So when the skin regrew, it was like pink.
Okay.
So she was like half Black and like half like
the model.
Just
what's
like
the model's name?
I know
yes,
exactly
that really pretty,
about.
The beautiful model.
Yeah. So she was going to.
It was vitiligo. Yeah.
Yes, but it wasn't vitiligo. It was like,
but it looked it. Yeah.
Burn, yeah. So she was going to her prom. So we did corrective makeup on her to like even out her skin tone. So it was like all her natural color, false eyelashes, eyebrows, and everything. And she was just like ecstatic, like seeing herself in her entirety. So I had this idea. I was like, oh my God, this was probably like the early 2004, 2005. I was like, wow, if I can like have this a big impact on people with just like paint, like a paintbrush and pigment, imagine what I could do if I could actually like get in there, like get into their skin, like under their tissue. And that's like when Botox had just come out in like 2002. And I was like, oh my God.
So you went back to school.
I was like, I want to go be like work in cosmetic surgery and like reconstructive surgery. And like, this is what I want to do. So
that's beautiful.
Then I went back to nursing school and started working in like reconstructive surgery and cosmetic surgery and plastic surgery, and then it just has evolved.
Okay, so you did that in like but I think there was a story about before you even got into that, started your business, about you working in a jail.
Oh, I mean, I did work in the prison, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually worked in the prison as an NP here in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Because I got my FMP to work in
Time out, people. What is
family
FMP?
nurse practitioner?
Okay.
To work to just have more autonomy and to work better in this world. Like you were talking about getting medical directors and how hard that is. So I figured as a nurse practitioner, I have more autonomy. I can own my own business. I can be my own medical director. I don't have. So that's why I did that. But I'm also that type of person where I was like, oh, damn, like I just did this like crazy education. I'm like, I'm a nurse. I'm a family nurse practitioner. Like I have all this knowledge, like how I want to use it too. And my dad has worked in the prison system my entire life. So like I understand prisons. Dinner time conversation would be talking about prisons and inmates. He ran the prison unit at Shattuck Hospital. So I just called my dad up and I was like, hey, I want to
work in prison.
Work in this because I figured I could learn, like I could do everything because like inside those walls, it's its own entire world. Like anything that happens in a prison stays in a prison. Your primary care, chronic care, emergency care, trauma, like anything that happens, you deal with it and there's like no resources for you and you're just like on your fucking own. So he was like, of course they need nurse practitioners in a prison. Like, are you kidding? So I went and worked in
How was that?
It was definitely an interesting experience.
Did you enjoy it? I did it myself.
I'm really glad I did it. I would never do it again.
You went and worked in a prison as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Vermont. I lasted 4, maybe 5 weeks.
And men's or women's?
All men.
Yeah, this was
all
men's
men in
too.
the state of during COVID, and I lasted 4 to 5 weeks. It was just
it's hard.
It was emotional for me.
Oh,
the lack of resources that these men had. It broke. I mean, I was a nurse, but I was also a dentist. Like I was doing a little bit of
you're
everything.
Doing everything. You're literally doing it. There's like no resources in there. You just
my heart was breaking. I was just like, I can't. I'm like a flower child. Like I can feel, and I was just like, I wish I could do more because you can't send them to the hospital. You can't send them out in an emergency. So we're doing everything from hospice care. There was a gentleman. He was, declining and he was passing away, and we couldn't even touch him. He's all chained up while he's end of life care, and I was just like, take the chains off. Like, what is he gonna do?
Well, yeah,
he's
they're always
86 years
they're
old.
inmates before they're like you.
Yeah,
they're
so we
inmates
see them as
before they're
patients.
humans.
Before
Yeah.
they're patients. So that's like the
Yeah.
they're
It was
always
difficult for
inmates
me.
before they're patients.
Wow. Okay, so then how did the actual business start? And we're gonna ask about the business, but like what also too, so there's a lot of women right now, obviously aesthetics. So like all three of us, you went to aesthetic school too, right?
Mhm,
So
I did.
all three of us both of us went to Elizabeth Grady. Where did you go?
Audrey Rose Institute
Oh,
in
okay.
Woburn, and I think she's also Nashville, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
All right, so all three of us went. I think it's a very great education for all people to understand
It
the
is.
skin, whatever, and all that. But I didn't take it to the level that both of you ladies did. So there's a lot of women out there who want to get into the beauty industry. What is one to now? Like, what are give us the top 5 things that they need to do?
So, I will say that when you are practicing aesthetics, just like any other scope of medicine, it is medicine.
Mhm.
So, it's not as easy as it looks, as you can attest to. I definitely feel that nurses who go into aesthetics, I mean, I knew when I was...
No, but what I'm saying to you, so, okay, I go to aesthetics. Maybe I don't want to go to college. That's one, right? But say I do. So like they go to school for aesthetics. Then what is the next step? Like, do they have to go to school? Do they have to be a nurse?
Yes, so you have to be an RN to inject because it's medicine.
Okay, so say there you guys have it.
Yeah,
so you have to
go
be
to nursing
an
school.
RN.
Yes, you have to
be
go to nursing school.
Okay, and then when you go to nursing school, okay, and then is there a specific entity where you say you want to be like an injector?
No,
or
that's like afterwards.
Okay.
I would suggest for like any young nurse who's interested in being an injector. I was really fortunate. I was able to work at the Austin Weston Center. It's in right outside of DC. It's the actually oldest freestanding plastic surgery clinic in the country.
Mhm.
So I was able to work with plastic surgeons for years, like assisting in the OR, assisting in plastic surgeries, suturing, doing pre-op, post-op care. So if you can get in and work with a plastic surgeon,
I agree.
like that's
All right.
Or do a fellowship.
Yeah, a fellowship. Like that's an incredible education.
Okay, so you want to do injection, you have to go to school to be a nurse.
Yes.
That's one. 2, you're saying best thing to do is to try to work for a plastic surgeon.
Yes.
Correct.
All right.
100%.
And then if there's so many hours that you have to put in or whatever.
No, but you're learning so much about the anatomy, how the skin heals. I mean, when you're assisting in surgery, you're like looking on people. You take people's skin off their faces. You take people's skin off their bodies. You can see the muscles, the tendons, the nerves, the ligaments. You can see how things attach. Like you're looking at the body inside, so you really
It's
can
like an
understand.
artist.
Of
It's a
course.
canvas.
Yeah, of
It's like a
course.
canvas. You're able to
Okay.
see the rawness.
Now 3, I do that. Now I want to start my own business. What do I do? What do I need to do to start my business besides obviously capital? But I think Tina, you were saying something about you needed so many hours or type of insurance. So what is the third thing?
I would say you definitely need to find a compliance attorney, like a medical compliance attorney.
Oh, wow. So are you guys hearing this? So remember, you want to go to school, RN, you want to work for a plastic surgeon, and then you need what?
A medical compliance attorney, so you can make sure you're
Where
doing it.
Where can you find these?
I mean, just like like any there's divorce attorneys, real estate attorneys.
So you want a
medical compliance attorney because the thing is like
wow,
you work
things I never knew.
You work so hard for that license, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't want to do anything to jeopardize that license. You want to protect that license, so you want to make sure that you're in compliance and working to the scope of your practice. Because the last thing you want to do is like go above and in front of the board of nursing and having had violated your scope of practice and then say, okay, sorry, bye-bye. I'm taking your license away from you.
After all those years you work so
hard. And they do it all the time.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Okay, so then you get a compliance attorney, you do
malpractice insurance, a really good malpractice insurance.
So you need malpractice insurance? Okay,
yes.
So now, all right, so wow. So
it's a lot. It's more than just like taking a weekend course and like putting up a sign that says
education.
Like Christine's, beauty clinic. It's and then you got to continually like educate yourself and go to conferences and learn new techniques and stay up to date because there's always new procedures and machines and products like coming to market. So you want to be like, you want to up to date because you want to be able to offer your clients and your patients the best possible.
Well, since I have
procedures.
you two here, let's talk real quick. Okay, so
you're beautiful. You don't need
no,
anything.
I'm just saying. I'm coming in to get Botox, right? Let's talk medical terms for a lot of people that don't know. So, what is this type of muscle or these things here? Your forehead, I know, but where are the key points? So, like point where we need to say for forehead and then eyes and then whatever, all this. So, can you tell people real quick, like the medical? So
everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
So
Everyone's
everyone's different,
anatomy.
but I mean, this is your like glabella complex. Mm-hmm. There's two muscles here, your corrugator and your procerus muscle, and that's what brings your eyebrows like in together.
Oh, when you do this?
Yes.
And I be staying
Also known as 11.
Yeah, that's why people call it those 11s because the muscles are like creasing together.
Okay.
This is your frontalis muscle. This is what brings the forehead up and down.
Yeah.
So this is what the muscle that when a lot of people...
so when you go like this and the wrinkles?
Yep, and when people get like that droopy eyebrow or that like heavy eyebrow and they're all complaining on Instagram, oh, they got this like wonky eyebrow, that's because their injector didn't do well injecting their frontalis and like drop their eyebrow because that lifts your eyebrow up, but it also can drop your eyebrow down.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then, okay, so what if I have these really big, deep lines? What do we do for these lines?
I mean,
with fillers, I would say you can do a little Botox.
What's a filler? What's the difference between filler and Botox?
So,
Botox is a muscle relaxer.
It's a neuromodulator. So actually works on your nervous system. So how it works is, so how you move like your, I need to do mine tomorrow morning, but like.
I know, I need a little bit myself too.
Yeah. So like how you move, like, so say you're frustrated, right?
So that's why everybody's face would be different because everybody moves their face differently. Okay, so how you move.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so like when you're frustrated, your body tells your brain, Sylvie's pissed. Squeeze her eyebrows in. Yep. So it's actually your nerves talking. So one nerve calls another nerve and goes, hey, Sylvie's fucking pissed. Let's squeeze her eyebrows in. And they move the muscle. The muscle doesn't move on its own. The nerves move the muscle.
Oh,
so Botox, Dysport, Xeomin, all those things are neuromodulators. They work on the nervous system. They basically knock out the phone line so the nerves can't talk. So if you're pissed, one nerve goes, hey, Sylvie's pissed. Crunch the muscles. And the other nerve won't respond.
That's a great analogy.
So the muscle can't contract. The muscles don't do anything without the nerves telling them what to do.
Okay, so that's what Botox. Now, what is the
fillers? Like hyaluronic acid. So that's like a nice, gooey, thick, sugary substance. So like our whole body has hyaluronic acid in it. It's what lubricates our joints so we can move around. It's what gives our skin its like volume and its like moisture. But then as we age, like the amount of hyaluronic acid you have like dries up. And you have less. So we just inject filler, which is just like, think of it as like a sugary, gooey, honey-like substance.
Like hydrates your face.
Okay, but so where would you actually inject in here to get rid of it, or would you inject up here?
Well, it depends. I mean, again, it depends where the aging is, but a lot of times when your face ages, everything falls forward and down. So a lot of times what's happening on the lower face is because the mid face is falling down and the lower face is burdened by it. So even if you sometimes
because gravity,
you have these lines, it could be because your cheeks are falling. So we could inject filler in your cheeks to lift that up, and then it takes the pressure off down here.
Okay, interesting.
See, it's a lot. It's art. It's art and science.
Yeah, it's art and science. Yeah, exactly.
So you have to. I mean, you have to have an artistic eye.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to know symmetry. Big deal. So, okay, now what about lips? And I like that. No offense, I could never do that. I mean, thank God I have full lips, but that shit looks painful as fuck.
Well,
it is.
You can numb your lips. I numb my lips up.
Yeah, you can numb them, but it's probably the most tender area, right? Because there's so many nerves on your mouth.
There.
How long does it take? So I want to get my lips big, and then how long is the like?
Well, it depends what you're starting with. You know what I mean? It depends how full your lips are that you're starting with. You know, like it can take a while. It can take a few sessions, a couple years to build.
But if someone's
really
just
full
going
lips.
For the first time, does that mean they're like, honey, I can't go out this weekend because I just got my lips done? Or is the recovery time like...
It depends. Everyone's different. Some people swell up for weeks. Some people don't swell up a lot.
Really?
Some people, their system might just eat up the material, and it's like you never did their lips.
Yeah, it could be gone in like a month.
No way.
Yeah, people that work out. I've seen that with people that work out a lot.
That's why I don't get false lashes. I mean the thing. I mean I wear falsies. I don't wear the whatever because I work out so much that I can't get extensions because I just start sweating. I'm like fuck this shit. So I just put on strips. You know what I mean?
Strips. They look really good.
Don't they?
What are yours? Yours are great.
They're singles.
A strip. They look so good.
No, not strips. 1 by 1.
Oh God, bless you
I
for
work
doing
out
that.
a lot because then I can't do it. Okay, so all right, we talked about that. So we talked about going over things like that and like what to become, how. So now, how did you start your business and where did you come up with the name New England Skin Center, which I think is awesome because it's just like New England. It's unique and how did you start your business? How did you meet your business? You have a business partner.
Yes,
okay, so how did that happen?
So I started my business. I never really thought about being an entrepreneur, having my own business. And it was after I had my son and I was working for I was working for a plastic surgeon and I just realized I couldn't be the type of mother I wanted to be and work for someone else. And, I think as young girls, no one really tells us you can be an entrepreneur, you can be a business owner, you can do it all. And I just had this epiphany one day.
Before you get into that, not just young girls, I think just society in general, because our school system programs us to be
like factory workers.
Yeah. No one, my adopted parents never said, hey, you can be an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Because I watched them get up every day for work and said, I ain't doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no. Yeah. Okay, so all right, so get back to your son.
I was just working for this plastic surgeon, and I just one day had this epiphany that was like, what the fuck? If he can do this, I can do it too. The patients are coming here to see me. Exactly. They're not coming there. He's no special than me. He's no more special than me.
Right.
If he can have a business, fuck it. I'll have one too.
Right.
So I just decided.
But how did, so you just found a location? How did,
so
you met the person?
I worked by myself for probably a year and a half before I met my partner.
You were renting a space.
I just went out on my own and rented space, and my clients came to me and it was just word of mouth. But I was working alone. And,
so how did you meet your partner? Which I know Toby. I love her. Shout out to you, Toby.
Someone introduced us through the industry, and we had to go. She lives near me on the South Shore, and we had to go into Boston for a conference one day. So we were like, oh, we'll just drive together, and we just hit it off. And from this industry that it can be superficial, very catty. It can be very competitive because it's a cash-based industry, and everyone thinks, oh, I'm gonna become a millionaire by doing Botox, which you're not. So there's not a lot of collaboration. There's not a lot of women supporting other women and building each other up. So
which is really sad because I feel like it's fallen back into that whole cliquey high school and it's sad because all three of us are about women empowerment. So it's sad to me that the beauty industry is so cliquey.
It's super competitive. And it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I've met some good people. I've met Minok and Audrey that they took me under their wing and helped me without being making fun of me because they have more experience than me. But it was hard when I first came out here. I was knocking on doors. I was emailing people, and I wouldn't even get an email back saying
yeah, because they looked at you like competition.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's different. Everyone has different skills, and I think there's room for all of us.
Right,
there is.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys met. You guys drove into Boston.
Yeah, we just hit it off.
But so you just
and then literally one day we were just talking, and we were like, oh, we should just go into business together. So we were like, okay. I mean, I never have a fucking plan for anything in my life. I just go for it.
Yeah.
So you're saying she's more the planner?
No, neither of us are the planner. So one day she called and she was like, I found a space. I think it'd be great for us. It's a dance studio. And I was like, okay. She's like, do you want to see it? I'm like, no, I fucking trust you. So we just signed the lease and.
So where are you at Bennett, by the way?
Yeah. So that's.
By the way, some of my art's gonna be there.
Yes, beautiful, and it already is. Your gorgeous art.
Oh, it already got.
No, but the woman we have at least in our lounge.
Oh, the woman, yeah, MDML, but the
Yes.
Did the other ones get?
No.
Okay. All right. So
But Sylvie's art is going to be decorating our whole entire space.
yes, I'm so
Yes,
excited
I can't
about
wait.
that. By the way, anybody needs art for their skin center or commercial property, hit my line, honey. I'm
That's
just not.
beautiful.
Or your home,
Right, or
You,
your
I have a
home.
piece that I'm getting for you
For
for my
home.
bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
from the
that's some real
sex paint
sexy
series.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
But so I am an artist as well, guys, which is www.viasworld.com. So if you guys want to see any of my art, especially Christmas is coming up. So, I'm moving coffee and art in these streets, baby.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Got to make it do what
Yeah.
it do.
Two good things to move.
Right? And moving all this weight. eh?
That's right.
Moving all this ass. Okay, so all right, so where are you right now? Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you date younger men?
I date all ages of men.
What?
The youngest I've dated was 20 years younger than me, and that was interesting. I mean, and then I've dated like age appropriate men as well.
I can't date anyone, and then mind you,
Well, that's because your daughter
I know.
is that age.
I-
My
I-
son's only 10.
I
So
know, but
20
I-
was a little 20 years younger than me. Still, I was like, when were you born? Like 1995. I was already in college. But
That must have been fun. That must have been fun.
That is weird for me because my daughter's 23. So when these like 25, 27, 28-year-olds, like to me, you can't even do nothing before 35 because I'm looking at you like, honey, how many passports you got? Where you been? You know what I mean? Like it's just too
no, this
weird
child
for me.
lived at home still. So
Oh,
Okay. That must have been fun.
okay, so
well, weren't you saying we're not looking for a husband?
Oh,
We're
yeah,
just
It's
looking
just
for
a good time.
Yeah, let's look for a good time.
They have
Okay,
a lot of energy.
some D and bubblegum, baby. D and bubblegum. Okay.
Just make sure he's home by curfew.
Yeah.
Right. So, so tell us, like, what kind of men are you into? And, like, what kind of, like, what would you, I don't know, like, how do you balance are you trying to find love or are you just trying to find sex?
Well, I feel like I exist in a space of love. Like I just come from love. Like everything,
beautiful.
everything is love. So I don't have to look for love because I just exist and I come from love.
And you love yourself.
and I'm never lonely because I love my aloneness.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Same
beautiful.
here. Yeah.
So really, it's just like regular sex would be like super dope.
You want to have, like, a regular D?
Well, you can sleep over like one night a week maybe. And
That's fun. Hey, it's okay to have fun. I'm all for it.
yeah.
Do you think that in today's day and age, I mean, we're living in weird times. Do you think it's harder to find, like, real quality men?
Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like in general, people are more, both men and women. I think people are a lot less aware. People are not living in an awareness of like who they are internally
Yeah.
and where like the collective unity that we all come from. And I think a lot of people are, especially post-COVID, are really fear and ego driven.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
if you're driven from your ego and if you're driven by fear, then you will never find love
You're not
because
fulfilled.
you don't exist in love. Like
That's
There's no
deep.
self-identity.
Can you elaborate a little bit
I
more?
agree.
Like, what do you? So, someone who doesn't really
So, like,
understand that lingo, that spiritual enlightenment lingo that you just dropped on us. It's like, I get it, but
Some real stuff.
that's some real
I
shit you
definitely
just said.
understand.
So yeah, some people are not. Listen, some people are not spiritually aligned to even receive the information that you just said. So let's break it down
Yeah.
to layman's
so
terms.
like I feel like if a lot of times people love out of their own ego, like their own selfishness, like what can I get from this person and how is this person going to make me feel, right? And they love with an expectation. Where if you just kind of exist in love in the sense that like, you wake up in the morning just in gratitude. You hear the
Yeah.
birds singing. You see the flowers. Like, like you just your heart comes from a place of love. Then it's like it's the love that loves through you. So you
Right.
can love without attachment. You can love without expectation. You can love without being selfish or ego. Because
Exactly.
regardless of what happens with this guy or that guy, like. I'm the love. Like they can't take that away from
Right.
From
No
they
matter
can't-
even if they
can't
broke you or they
that
tried
away
to
from
break
me.
you.
They can't.
They
like,
can't.
Like I will go on existing in in this space of
the energy of love. What you put out there, you receive. You're putting out loving energy, positive energy. Yeah. That's what you're attracting.
And like for me, like loving, whether it's like coming on this podcast because I love you, or helping my patients find ownership and self-love within their bodies because I love them. Like love this doesn't mean much relationship more than this idea of like romantic love. It's so limited, and I think people get so hung up on like, oh, I have to have this idea of like romantic love, and especially women, we're always taught like you know, like, what's wrong with you? You're single, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you married?
We have to have
like,
a list.
Why aren't you married?
Yeah,
like there's this expectation that like,
where is that list?
Something's wrong with you if you're single and not married. Like, but like, you're not alone. None of us are alone. I feel like we're like 3 women that have really fulfilled lives.
Get rid of the list, ladies.
Okay, ready? Ladies, here we go. It? Yes. What do you think? These are the questions. So there was a list going on online, which I thought was so funny. Ready? Are you going to Cheesecake Factory or not?
I'm going.
I mean,
on a date. So tell a little bit about the list.
Okay,
so
yeah. All right, so the list is about, here's a list of women who absolutely refuse to go on first dates. So first date, a man says, "Hey, will you go to Cheesecake Factory?"
Of course I will.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, so you hear this? All right. Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house.
I love Olive Garden. I love the breadsticks.
Which one you saying no to?
My house.
Right?
Amen. I'm saying absolutely no to Chipotle and Olive Garden just because, and the movies, we can't talk. First date, I'm saying no to that. I'm saying no to, because it's gross, and I've been there.
No, it's not.
I'm just saying.
To each his own.
In movies, we can't talk.
Yeah, I suck at going to movies.
I like intimacy of silence. I'm a big silent person. Let our energy speak.
Yeah, I love the silence.
Yeah. Any fast food chain?
No.
No, you cannot take me to no fast food chain.
I like a good Frosty after a movie.
No.
Like a Dairy Queen?
No.
Yeah, like ice cream maybe.
Well, I mean, that's in the summer. Maybe you go to the beach for ice cream. Yeah. That's like a cute
I'm from the North Shore, but on the water.
I'm making it very clear right now, gentlemen. You are not allowed. And ladies, my friends, we are not pulling up, girl, I'm hungry, to McDonald's. You're starving, bitch.
You're from the North Shore.
I don't go to Kelly's. I don't do none of that.
Ice cream.
I do not. Listen, I am a hood chick, but
beach.
I do not go to none of that fast food. I love my body. I nourish my body. Do not do fast food shit. Nope. Okay, next. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster. I'm doing Red Lobster. I'm doing Red Lobster.
I'm doing Wingstop. Shout out to Rick Ross.
Okay.
Love a good Wingstop.
Okay. I thought this was interesting. I would be down. The first date, they said gym.
Yeah.
Oh, I would totally love that. That's like an awesome first date.
Me too.
I think yoga.
And you know why I think the gym, fellas, listen to this. You know why I think the gym? 2 dates that you guys should take women on the gym. You should do, let's go swimming and let's go to the gym, because you want to see what she looks like without makeup. Because if I'm a man, I'm gonna say, don't be putting no makeup when you come to the gym. Every man right now should be saying, let's go to the gym or let's go swimming, because I want to see what your real hair look like. I want to see what your skin look like. I want to see what you look like. So fellas, I'm just dropping free game on you. That should be, women are saying that, and you know why these weird women are saying this on this list? Because they don't want these men to see what they really look like. Okay, so coffee dates.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
I was offended. I'm like, excuse me.
I love a coffee date.
Right? And if you notice, like Tinder and all of those things, those are one of the first things they say is we want to meet for coffee. That's one of the first things, like all those. I'm not online dating.
Keep it casual.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's quick. And if you don't like each other, it's just coffee.
Okay, you're out in an hour. It's like
I kind of agree with this. Like I don't mind as we're dating, this moves on. But for first date, family function.
No. And I've always gotten those type. Oh, my family.
They want to break. It's like they want
to show you off.
But you don't
I think that's what it is.
And I'm like, you know, I don't like when I'm first dating them and they want to always introduce me to male friends.
All the time.
First of all, honey, I'm well known. I got name brand recognition. I don't know who's your friend.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of
Like, he
situation.
already knows about me.
Right. So like, no, I don't want to do that. But not only that, I don't like to be I already know I'm a beautiful woman. I know I'm a
show
powerful woman.
pony. I mean,
That's exactly it. I don't like to feel like I'm being shown off. So
and that's typically what it is for me. It's like a show
thing.
off
Like, ooh,
type
let
of
me,
thing.
like a trophy, right?
I'm
I don't
in the
like
car.
that.
Families come into the car. Oh, hi.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
I
this
hate
is
that.
embarrassing.
I hate, and honestly, it triggers my PTSD. Like when I first got off the plane from my white parents adopted me, they're like, "Oh, look at the little brown girl." I'm like, yeah, I hate it. Okay, so
It's a no.
Movie night, Netflix, Hulu. I'm
No.
against that
well,
too.
no one's coming over to my house on a
Netflix
first
and
date.
chill,
Are
and I
you
never did
kidding?
that.
Never.
No.
How about
You're
this?
a serial killer until you prove yourself otherwise.
Oh my god, I think the same way. I'm the same
And
way.
everyone's a pedophile until you prove yourself otherwise.
How about I would do this on a first date, bowling.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would do that.
I would. Honey, I'm an athlete.
Too much of a
My
girly girl.
strike-
My nails, and I gotta keep it really soft and feminine for the first date.
What's wrong with
My nails with the bowling ball.
No, you can. I have nails too.
there are holes in the?
You can
on
do the
ball.
little balls
Yeah,
too. You can
exactly.
do little balls. You
Okay,
can do
well, if I see
candle
the little
pin.
the little
you can
balls,
do the little ones.
let's-
Just
see?
cup them right here, and then you run really
What
fast
kind of
and you
balls are
hug it.
those?
Yeah, you tickle them as you run down and throw
Stop
them.
saying balls to me. Okay.
Oh, boy.
You know how to play with them balls, sis. Okay.
The tiny ones, little ball bowling.
Listen, I'll try it. I don't know if I'm gonna tickle anything.
Okay. You gotta massage that bowling ball so you can get that strike, honey.
gosh.
Okay. Nightclubs. First date.
A lounge in Miami.
Yeah, I like a lounge. Like a lounge would be fun.
I'm out here in Miami looking for the
Yeah.
daddies.
I like the lounge vibe.
Okay, hookah bar.
I mean, I would go to hookah bar.
I would, let me know. Tell you where I go to a hookah bar. Only if it's a Middle Eastern, it has to be
Oh,
like
yeah.
it has to
Authentic,
be
you
like
sit on the
it's
floor,
like Lebanese.
pillows,
Like
yeah.
I'm not going to some hood shit and like the Dominicans are pulling up on me with some hood shit and I might fucking I'm not doing that. Bachata and it's too loud and then
I
you
like
give
a
me the
little
hookah.
bachata
No,
music.
I like that, but the first date,
Mhm.
it's a little too hood for me. I'm not with that.
I
Like
do like the Middle Eastern hookah.
Yes.
In Cali, those were like my spots.
a bar just for drinks. This is first date.
I think a lot of people go to
Depends.
like a bar. You know, you like
It must
meet
be
in
a
bar.
really nice. Yeah, I've gone
like
to
a
first
nice
date.
bar, like this,
Yeah.
like in the nice bar in the
Seaport.
seaport. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
sports events.
I don't.
Where are we sitting?
Honey,
Yeah,
courtside.
but they-
I'm a
they
courtside.
box seats,
Wait,
box seats
I'm a courtside
Only.
princess.
Mhm.
If I'm gonna be in courtside, then I can pull up
Let's
in my
do it.
heels. Okay, cool. So then there was another. I think there was
The male version
The male
one.
version list. Didn't I send that to
No,
you?
you'd only sent me
Oh yeah.
that.
Okay. Group of men.
That's the initial one that came out.
Right. So this is
That triggered the women response.
Okay, ready? Group of men made a list of women they shouldn't take on a date.
Okay.
Single mothers.
That's like every fucking woman practically.
Right. Wait. Women with tattoos.
Oh, I'm out.
I'm out. Right. These are two in a row. Wait. Women who dress.
Because they can't handle a
Wait.
good time, I
Women
guess.
who dress like this in public. Sex workers, OnlyFans girls.
Oh, that's us
matches
too.
actors, strippers, call girls, escorts, Instagram models, bottle girls, etc.
That's us.
I don't follow.
So time out. This. You know why?
Categories.
Wait. You know why? Shut up. You be dressing fly and
Instagram.
sexy.
I'm not an
You
Instagram
look
model.
sexy
Girl,
right now. You look
girl,
like
you look
this
model
with
on
your. You be like
Instagram.
this
Are
with
you
your
kidding me?
little jacket. Cut it out. So listen. No.
I'm not an Instagram model.
No, but you definitely be showing your stuff, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But these men, this kills me, this list, because so what they want Mother Teresa, right, at home, but then they'll be following all the Instagram.
Of course they
So
will.
it's like cut the shit out. Like, so, I don't like that. I'm like, all right. So, women with an IG page. So we should just never, like,
that
enough.
one was stupid. Everyone has Instagram. Business owners have Instagram.
But you know what? I've dated men that have had problems with me being so active on social media.
That's how
And
you
that
get
is
your
true.
brand
This is
across.
what I'm saying.
Branding
But
is. I've
there's-
had that
but
problem in my last relationship
but
with
there
branding
is-
myself.
There is a lot of men that are
they're
very
insecure.
intimidated by women's social
Yeah.
media.
Well, this is the thing about life. The wrong people will eliminate themselves.
Yeah.
So they did you a favor and eliminated themselves.
Okay, ready? Women with purple hair or any unnatural color.
Oh God.
Listen,
Okay.
Who are the losers who made this list?
What's his name?
Women who travel
The
regularly.
late Samuel.
Okay, I love traveling.
I travel for work.
Yeah.
I travel all the time.
Women with weak, absent fathers. I can kind of honestly.
I have a sperm
time
donor,
out.
so I can't lie.
Time out. I kind of agree because a lot of women and men haven't went and got therapy and healed.
work through
Yeah,
those
we have some
Exactly.
daddy issues. I have some daddy
me
issues.
too, definitely
I think
for
everyone
sure.
working
has
on.
daddy issues.
Yeah.
Women who live alone.
I live alone for
Oh, because
7
we
years
own
and I
our
love
own
it.
houses, and that's
Thank you.
intimidating
Yeah, and
because
we-
I own my
And
own
we
house.
own
I'm
our,
sorry.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we don't need and
homeowner.
rely, and we love our own
Oh, because I can
space.
pay. Don't
I
date a
enjoy
woman
being
that
alone.
pays her own bills. Apparently, they're going to say that
Yeah.
there too.
I enjoy
Wait.
being alone.
A woman with a party voice.
A party voice? What's
Yeah.
that?
So I bet this is a real shit. So one of my friends, he used to play in the NFL. We're still really tight. He called me. He's like, V. He's like, I met this chick. He's like, I really love her. He's like, but her voice. He's like, when she raises it or tries to get at me, he's like, it irritates me. And he's like, everything about her, I want to marry her, but I don't know if I can stand her voice.
Oh gosh.
Let me tell you something. That's a real thing for men.
A party voice?
No, just voice. That's a real thing for men. Ladies, like the way you speak to your man or even yell, like that's a real thing for men. Like men have a thing. Because remember, men are visual, audio, like all. Just because think if that was the case, what is that thing on YouTube like? And today, yeah. And ASMR. That's such a thing because men really love like a soft voice.
That kitten voice.
Yeah,
like that
they
kitten
love
voice.
that voice. So anyway, that's a big like trigger for. So anyway, that is okay. Women on dating apps.
Everyone's on a dating
I'm not.
app,
I haven't
but
tried
a
it.
lot of people are. That's
can't
so
take
Scared
it.
of serial killers. I think they're gonna come out. I don't know.
Okay,
It's too risky.
women who have been on Fresh Fit. I don't know what
What's
that
that?
is. Okay, women with lists. Shit.
A list.
So
Fuck
we're
you,
not
you
supposed to
just
have-
made a fucking list guy
but
and
not
you don't
only
want a
that-
woman to
time
make
out,
a
but we're-
list?
So we're not supposed to
Oh,
have
a list.
boundaries. Yeah, we're not supposed to have boundaries. So we're not
Or
supposed to have
standards, or
standards.
standards.
Yes,
Exactly.
they made a list, like you mentioned.
Women who have been engaged or divorced.
I haven't.
American black women.
I
This is
wonder
fucked
why.
up. No,
This
mind
is
you.
by a black
Sorry,
man.
by you. This is what's his name?
Samuel.
Samuel.
wrote
Yeah,
this list?
Samuel. The one that passed away. What's his name on you? The YouTube guy. Oh, women raised in the West. Wait, he's who?
He passed away. I think he had like a cardiac issue while he was with allegedly a call girl.
So basically,
but
this
Basically,
guy-
he's doing everything that
he
you're
had a
not supposed to do on
platform
this list.
for men.
Yeah. So he had this
He
platform
sounds like
for
a
men
loser.
who would women would go online, right? And they would literally be like, "Oh," and he'd be like, "So how do you think you look?" And she'd be like, "Oh," and
I'm a
I've seen
10,
it.
I'm a
She's
10.
like a 10. He's like, "Honey, you ain't no 10." And
You
he
have
would,
kids?
Yeah, he's like,
You're overweight.
Yeah.
You're a 3. So he was brutally honest. Some of the things he did make sense. Because there was women with like 3 kids and was like, I want a man that makes 6 figures, buys me a house, take kids, all my kids. And he was like, that's not going to happen. So
Right.
he did have some points, but he did do a lot of body shaming that I didn't like. He did a lot of body shaming, which wasn't nice.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the list.
That list sucks.
So okay,
Mhm.
what about your top 5 list? Things that you want to see in a man, and then top 5 lists that are like no. Red flags, and then yes.
the things I want to see.
List.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. He.
Is it a he or a she?
It's a. Listen, life would be so much easier if it could be a she, but it can't. I tried that; it didn't work out.
Okay, so it's a he with the list. Okay, so your top 5 things that you would love in a man.
Oh gosh, like what honesty. Obviously, like I said, has dealt with his own issues.
So therapy. He's been in
Therapy.
therapy.
or doesn't come from a place of fear.
Mhm.
Doesn't come from a place, isn't ego driven, isn't fear driven.
No domestic violence past.
Yep, please,
Yeah.
none of that. Has his shit together,
Thank you.
like has a
That's
has a
important.
career, has a
How
good
about this?
place to live.
How about he makes less than you?
That's fine. I'm okay
He's
with that.
fine. I mean, a lot of men I've been with have made less than me.
But men that you can take serious?
If he's business minded, he has less, and as a business owner, maybe I could put him on, and we can make millions.
Yeah,
I'm okay
together.
with that.
That's what I was
as long
just
as
about to
he's
say.
like, can he work well in the world? Can he love well? Is he creative? Is he interested in
Thank you.
hustling and learning?
That's what I was gonna say.
And does he take pride in what he does?
So I'm okay with a man
generous?
making less than me only if he wants more.
Exactly.
Like you can't be like,
I agree.
I really love my $40,000 job, honey. My kid makes more than you right now, and she's 23. Like, and not only that, it's just we can't.
Well, that goes to show their like personality. So you wouldn't be attracted to someone like that.
Right. And so, but to me, I will say this, like, and don't you find it, because you do own a business, you do make more than a certain amount. Do you find it where men are intimidated about?
Well, of course they're intimidated, but then again, it's like you're not. I'm not going to make myself small or less than to accommodate someone's ego or someone's sense of their lack of value. Like, so again, the wrong people will eliminate themselves. You just like it. I don't get. I don't get like heartbroken because it's like. I just let people move how they're going to move in the world and show you who they are. And like, if someone is jealous because I make more money, or someone wants to tell me I need to cover my boobs up or not put so much filler in my lips, like, okay, then like, you're not the one for me. Like you did me a favor by eliminating yourself.
Find, and we had this conversation with Jimmy, the florist. Don't you find that, so growing up, I felt like there was, I had a lot of jealousy with females. But I feel like right now, because, us three, we're successful in our own right in what we do, just as mothers, as women, and just whatever. I feel like there's more jealousy coming from men these days.
Yeah, I find the women are awesome. Like, I find when I go out and I look like I'm all dressed up, the women are like, oh my God, you look amazing. Right. I love your shoes. You're so beautiful. I feel like the women we're kind of supporting each other.
And it makes me like really like, I don't know what to say, but I'm like, men, like y'all bashing women, or y'all like jealous of women.
No need to compete.
Like,
I can't be a man. I can't be a male. We don't need to compete at all.
Like, fellas, like, embrace that. Even if we do make more than you, like, there's this thing and the relationships never work if there's a competition.
Exactly.
And for some reason, I just find that a lot of men are trying to compete with women they're even dating. And it's like, honey, we should be talking about how was your day? What'd you do? Oh, that's what's up. This is what I did my day, blah, blah, blah. But instead, it's like, it's like weird. It's
trying
like,
to dim your lights.
Like, men, y'all need to like simmer down with this. Like, first of all, until you realize women are the superior human race.
We're maternal. We are. We're
superior. Let's be honest. So once you accept that and just know that you're here for us, to serve us. I know that doesn't sound good. You want to hear that, but really that is the whole, like, men are here to provide security, shelter, take care of us, make sure we're good, like basic, but it's like crazy with men are really competing with women.
Well, I think it's because, we're at a time in history, and I feel like it's a wonderful time where women, we don't need men. Like, we used to need men. We couldn't have a credit card. We couldn't get a bank loan. We couldn't own a home. So we needed men. We don't need men anymore. So men could not perform. They could not step up, and you would still have to be with them because you needed them, because the law, you couldn't own a credit card, you couldn't have a bank card, you couldn't own your house, you couldn't have a driver's license. So men didn't have to kind of rise to the occasion. They could be less than, but you had to stay in that relationship or that marriage. Now we don't need men. We can own our own homes, we can have our own bank accounts, we can have credit cards, we can have our own businesses. So now it's like men, but like the beauty is, we want to be with you because we want to be with you, not because we have to. Right. So step up and be someone that someone wants to be with.
Everyone wants a king. I want a king. I want you to be daddy, papi.
But step up because women, we're all stepping up to being queens. Like, we're all developing and running these incredible queendoms. there's a throne right next to me for a king, but just like fucking rise up. Like do the work that I did, that you did.
And I just find it right now, there's so many men right now. Like I know so many friends right now that are literally taking care of men. Some of these men are not getting jobs. They're on the couches. It's like some of these women literally, they feel too, because they're in their 30s and they're in their 30s that they feel like, oh my God, my biological clock is ticking. They're settling just because they need to be with a man so they can procreate or have a child. And it's really sad because these men are not leveling up to where the level of women are. And fellas, like, I don't know what's going on with you guys, but like...
It's been easy for them. They haven't had to do any fucking work for the last 4,000 years.
And women prepare
literally
your sons.
Nothing.
It's part of our job too as mothers. Or when I become a mother, like I'm definitely gonna prepare my son to be a full king.
Let me ask you this. Yeah, so like your son, like what do you, obviously I'm glad that he's seeing you, like you said, put on your lipstick, putting on your heels, and just seeing what a woman, and a feminine woman at that too. Well, she's a boss, right? So like when you guys go on date night, like, do you make your son say, open your door for you?
He always opens my door. Good. He holds the door for me.
So you're teaching him these things, or was his father?
I teach him because that's courteous, because I'll hold the door for someone too. That's just like being a kind human, you know?
Right.
So yes,
but when you're with him, are you saying like, now these are the things that a young man needs to when you're on a date with a woman, like this is what you need to do? Are you already preparing him for things like that?
I'm just preparing him to be a kind, conscientious citizen of like the world, and then that's going to emanate in his relationships to women and men in general.
Right.
You know.
Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. So. Okay, awesome. Is there any advice that you would give women who, are single mothers trying to start on their aesthetic journey, medical journey, and not just even single mothers, just women? Like, and are you do you have a school, or where would you advise them to go to get, say, mentors? Or
so we do have a preceptorship program.
Okay.
At our
facility.
Yeah, we do have a preceptor, like a shadow preceptorship program.
Now explain to people what that means.
So like a program when they can kind of come in and see what we do, see how we run our business, see how we interact with our clients. Both Toby and I have been doing this forever. Injection techniques, things like that. We did just hire another nurse, that we're taking and training a new nurse, a new injector. So we really want to teach people the right way to do things, safe way to do things.
Okay, and then last thing, we are transitioning from fall skin to winter skin for men and women. Give the men and women out there, what are the things that they can do for their skin? Because fellas, it's very important that you guys rinse, tone, and moisturize too. And I'm glad to see more men getting into their skin regimen. But so tell us real quick, what are some of the things that we need to do to transition from our skin from fall to winter?
What seriously everyone should have is a humidifier. That, like in your bedroom, like a warm steam humidifier. That's going to keep your skin hydrated all night. That's going to keep your eyes hydrated, your mucous membranes of your nose, your lips, because the heat is so drying and it sucks all the moisture out of the air. Yeah. So seriously, like a warm steam humidifier in your bedroom is like the best thing you can do for your skin.
Okay,
during the winter
I don't have
months.
that, so thank you for that.
Yeah, because you're not going to wake up.
And you know me, how my skin problems, especially I'm a person of color. Like I do not react
you need like a warm steam humidifier. That's like especially around here with all that dry heat.
Okay, that's one.
Yep. Hydration, hydrating, drinking lots of water. People typically have to use like heavier creams in the wintertime. You're not sweating as much. Like we said, the heat in your car is really dry.
Yeah.
So you have to hydrate a lot. It's a great time for lasers too. So if like you have any like pigmentation that you want to get rid of, like brown spots, freckles, broken capillaries, because people aren't in the sun around here, right?
Course.
So you can go super aggressive with lasers, like during the winter months.
What is the one thing I saw on IG? There's one thing people of color, especially, we shouldn't do a treatment. It burns our skin.
Yeah, so you have to be really careful with like light-based and heat-based treatments.
And chemical peels.
Yes.
I
Chemical
learned my
peels.
lesson.
You have to
Chemical
be
peels.
people of color have to be super careful with that.
Okay, so we need humidifiers, we need hydration, and then you said moisturizing.
Yeah.
But what was the last one you just said?
When laser, anyone can do lasers,
Laser.
but the thing is, like, all of our laser settings for all three of us would be very
Different. Because we're all
So
three
you
different
have
skin
to
tones.
go to someone who's really experienced, who knows how to use lasers on people who
Well,
have
what
color.
can we do at home? We don't have money to do that, right? So what does a laser treatment go
Like
for?
hydrating masks would be great, something to do at home. You know,
Okay, but is there a product that you suggest that we could buy?
like if you're thinking like at like the
Hydrating
retail store.
Yeah, I'm going to Target. I don't
Anything
know.
with hyaluronic acid.
Yeah, anything
Retinol,
with
it's good.
anything with hyaluronic acid would be awesome. And the winter's a good time to use a retinol
For men and
too.
women?
Yeah, for men and women. Yeah.
Okay, and then so yeah, that's basically it. And then how about exfoliates?
Well, yeah. I mean, we should all be exfoliating.
And by the way, you can exfoliate with my coffee.
Grounds, yeah.
Yes. So what we do with my coffee, we can do. I have it on my website, but we use coffee, brown sugar, and lemon. It's very easy. We mix it together. We put it on our skin, let it sit for 5 minutes. Make sure obviously your skin is washed first, your face, but you can also use it on your scalp and you can use it on your whole body. But it's really good, and I find that it's like really great.
Give it a try.
And it's really good for circulation too. The
Yeah.
caffeine would be so good for your blood flow, circulation, getting that lymph flowing also.
So shout out to my coffee company. All right, well, thank you so much, Christine, for coming.
Thank you for coming. A pleasure.
And
It was
then
fun.
why don't you tell everybody real quick too? So give us your time, your hours, your business, and your website.
So it's New England Skin Center. It's newenglandskincenter.com is our website. And then, Monday through Fridays, weekends, like by appointment only. Yeah, we're here for you for any head to toe, inside and out.
Men and women,
Men
ladies.
and women.
Exactly. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.
It was fun
Yeah.
having you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a wrap.